Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Sergey Kovalev's scheduled January 30th fight against Melekuziev is now in serious jeopardy. It has been reported by various websites including Boxing Scene that Sergey Kovalev has indeed failed a Vada test. He has tested positive for synthetic testosterone. His promoter Vada at Main Events came out with the following statement. We are aware of the adverse finding from Vada. Sergey Kovalev has proven to be a clean fighter throughout many years that he's been tested by Vada. Vada was contracted for this fight at his insistence, as he's requested for almost all of his fights going back several years. He maintains that he did not purposely ingest any banned substances. We have made arrangements to have his supplements tested for contamination and will request Vada test his B sample. Those are the words of his promoter, Vada at Main Events. So obviously this is an ongoing issue, and of course it puts this fight with Melekuziev in serious jeopardy. And for me personally, if this fight were not to happen, I would be gutted about it, selfishly, because I was really looking forward to this fight, seeing the young Melekuziev take a massive step up against Sergey Kovalev. I think this fight would have been interesting for a number of reasons, but right now, this fight is in the air, and we'll see what happens in the coming days. So it's one of those wait-and-see kind of scenarios. As for Melekuziev, I do feel sorry for him. He's a young prospect who's extremely good in my opinion, extremely talented, but nobody was really talking about him. This sort of fight, providing he won, would have really put him over amongst the boxing fans, and if this fight doesn't go ahead, he would have missed out on that opportunity. So regardless of what happens, if Kovalev is out of the picture for January 30th, I would like Golden Boy and DAZN to try and find Melekuziev some sort of opponent to fill that date, just to stay active, to stay busy, and basically keep his career moving, because he's a young guy, he's coming through the ranks, and obviously it's always good for these young prospects to stay active, and ultimately nobody likes wasting a training camp. I'm sure this training camp for Sergey Kovalev would have come with expenses and whatnot, so I would still like to see Melekuziev fight on January 30th, even if it's against like a subpar opponent, just to get him out there basically. And as for Sergey Kovalev, this guy's career has been on the downward slide for a long time now. That really started from the Andre Ward fights, and since then, to me, him in the ring, he's been diminishing. Certain aspects of his personal life have been revealed to the public, and yeah, it just seems like right now, Sergey Kovalev is a bit of a car wreck, getting knocked out in fights, not really looking too good, the drinking problems outside the ring, various legal problems, etc. And now this problem with the Vada positive drug test. Now we'll see what happens with this, we'll see whether Sergey Kovalev has any sort of defence. But regardless, man, it's not a good look, is it? It's not a good look. And if Sergey Kovalev is intentionally juicing and that is found out, then of course, this fight with Melekuziev can no longer go ahead. Let's be honest, Sergey Kovalev is an older guy. He is a guy who's had a history of drinking. Obviously, when you get older, naturally your testosterone lowers. And if you're drinking heavily on top of that, that's going to make that testosterone plummet even more, So who knows, maybe Sergey Kovalev is intentionally juicing at this stage. I guess we'll find out in the coming days, weeks and months. But yeah, certainly a story to follow closely. And at this stage with Sergey Kovalev, nothing really surprises me anymore. Ultimately, the guy's just been making bad decision after bad decision. So I'll wait until more information comes out. I'm not necessarily casting aspersions right now, but usually when these sort of things occur, I always think the worst, to be honest. There's been several cases in the UK in which have been dressed up in a certain way, but I've heard things on the inside that contradict the official narrative, if that makes sense. I think you know who I'm referring to, or a couple of guys I'm referring to. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Ultimately, I'm just extremely disappointed. If we don't get this fight in January, then to me that's a big shame, because selfishly, again, I was really looking forward to this fight. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.